The ad industry has changed, but most ad agencies haven't. Why? Because it doesn't particularly suit their income model. Let me get into this for a sec. So how it used to work is an agency would come up with a big creative idea, and we had to agree on the idea, put it into production. Production was expensive. It's not like now we can produce things of quality on our phones. This is massive production, taking days and days, studios, locations, and it costs an enormous amount of money to put together. And then that got shipped off to the media houses and they put it into a fixed schedule. So there was not a lot of flexibility. Not to say you couldn't change it at all, but not much. Then you had to let the campaign run its course. Then you would start to get feedback, get an idea of what's going on. Is the market responding? Is it achieving the objectives that you needed to achieve? And then you would have to come up with another big idea off the back of those learnings. What's really changed the game here is we don't have to rely on a single big idea anymore. We can come up with executions at scale. So we've got loads of different creative ideas and we start to feed those into the market at scale. Different people, different executions for different target markets, testing different ideas. It might just be the copy line. We're changing a copy line. We might be changing the person who's acting inside of the ad. Whatever it is, we put out loads of executions, and I'm not talking 2 or 3, I'm talking 20, 30, 100 for a single campaign. We start pushing those out and then we get immediate feedback. Within hours, we start getting data from the platforms. We know exactly what is working, what isn't working, and we can make budget and scheduling decisions on the fly. We start to optimize that as the campaign starts to roll. Then we can even extend the campaign. If it's working, keep it going. Once we start to give clients predictable returns, so in other words, we start to run a campaign and we're starting to optimize the budget, they're making income as a result of that, if it's an income objective for the campaign. And then they go, well, it's very easy to give me more budget when they know that for every X spend, they're getting Y in return. So we can have dynamic campaigns, whereas before we used to have single big idea, big production, little to no flexibility. Now, why is that something that the ad industry has resisted for so long? Social media came out, it's kind of 2006-ish. It's 2022, and yet there's still some resistance. Why? Because the big idea model and the big production budget model is where they made their money. That has completely changed, but it doesn't mean that we can't give value by doing executions at scale. That is the future of advertising.